Littrell, and I will be giving a persuasive speech on the differences between male and female communication. Males and females are different in the way they act, think, talk, and feel. There are many differences between men and women. Something that always fascinated me was the psychology differences between men and women and how we relate to one another, Corinne Steffen said. Like I said, there are many differences between men and women. They are also different in the way they talk, act, think, and feel. The main difference between the communication in both genders is how our body acts and how our body speaks. How our body speaks it shows our emotions and how we are different. And sometimes our different communication styles can lead into misunderstandings. It can also make our emotions act up. And I think the best thing between a man and a woman in a relationship is communication, because if there is no communication, the problem will probably never get solved and it can make matters worse. The reason I'm giving this speech is I think it is interesting to know the differences between men and women, and it is better for us to show and point out our differences and work with them instead of letting them slide. And I want to show how men and women communicate differently and how they act. Men and women interact in many different ways. Women, they would rather want to talk to one of their female friends about their problems instead of turning to a guy. And men, they would rather keep it to themselves because they don't like to talk about their feelings or the problems that they are going through. And we react and we reveal ourselves in many different ways with how we communicate. Women, when they're having a disagreement, their relationship can mess up, whereas men, if they have a disagreement, they move on from it. And women, they build by having a relationship with someone, whereas men, they build by working together as individuals. And men and women can see their differences between each other, and we also have different behavior patterns. And sometimes we would rather make it wrong than make it right. Men and women also have different, they can be misunderstood by how they communicate differently. And like I said, they also behave differently, and it is also sometimes hard for them not to be able to understand where the other person is coming from. So it's best for us to get along, and sometimes anyone needs to understand that communication is the key. Every man and woman has different actions depending on their characteristics. And women, they like to talk about their actions and what goes on in their life so they can be able to relate to people. So they like communicating about their problems. And men, they really don't like to express their feelings or what they're going through, and sometimes they tend to be sarcastic. Men and women also have different body languages, and the better we communicate and let things out, the better we can handle it in a better manner. And like I said, men and women are different in how they communicate, and sometimes it can lead to a misunderstanding. And it is better for us to communicate in order to make things better instead of making them wrong. And so, like I said, men and women, they are made different, but we are created equally. And our bodies speak with our emotions, and so that's why we need to use communication. The main point of the speech was to show that communication is the main source of having a relationship or a friendship with somebody, And I hope I've shown people in this speech the differences between male and female communication.